In this lesson we'll be working in the round and making a circle with rounds of double crochet stitches. Let's begin by looking at a stitch diagram for working the first 3 rounds of double crochet. There are different ways to start a crochet circle, and I like to begin with a ring of chains. In this tutorial we'll begin with a foundation ring of 6 chains joined with a slip stitch. Double crochet stitches are the height of 1 chain. So round 1 will begin with 1 chain, and in this lesson the first chain will count as a double crochet stitch. 9 double crochets are worked into the middle of the ring. This makes 10 stitches in total, and round 1 is joined with a slip stitch to close the circle. Round 2 begins with a chain, which counts as a double crochet, and a double crochet increase is worked into every stitch on round 1. This makes 20 stitches in total. Round 3 begins with 1 chain and 1 double crochet into the same stitch, and a double crochet increase is worked into every second stitch on round 2, so this makes 30 stitches in total. As the circle gets bigger, we'll increase the number of stitches in multiples of 10, because this is the number of stitches that we began with. So let's look at that in practice. We'll begin with a slip knot and chains. I'm working with a foundation ring of 6 chains. And I'll join these to make a ring by working a slip stitch into the first chain. You can find this by counting 6 stitches back from your hook. Insert your hook into this first chain, yarn over, draw the yarn through the chain and through the loop on your hook. This completes the slip stitch join. This will be worked into the middle of the ring of chains, so make sure you can find this hole. Work 1 chain, this counts as your first stitch. Insert your hook into the hole, yarn over and draw the yarn through the hole. Yarn over again and draw the yarn through both loops on your hook. This makes your first double crochet stitch. Now continue to work 8 more double crochets into the ring to make 8 stitches in total, including the first chain. Count back from your working stitch to be sure you can identify all your stitches. The 10th stitch is the chain you started with, and this is where you'll be joining this round with a slip stitch. So insert your hook into this first chain. Yarn over, draw the thread through the chain and through the loop on your hook. This completes the first round. Work 1 chain and 1 double crochet into the chain where you joined your first round. This counts as a double crochet increase. Now work 2 double crochets into each of the next 9 stitches. This will make 20 stitches in total, including your first chain. 2 double crochets into each stitch is called a double crochet increase. When you've worked your last double crochet, it may look like you still have one stitch to work into, but this is your slip stitch from the previous round, so ignore this stitch and don't work into it. You might want to pause here and count your stitches, so there should be 20 in total, including the first chain. Now work a slip stitch into the first chain to complete this round. Work one chain and one double crochet into the chain where you joined the previous round. Work one double crochet into the next stitch and work a double crochet increase into the next stitch. Work a double crochet into the next stitch and continue to work a double crochet increase into every second stitch to the end of the round. Remember not to work into the slip stitch on the previous round. There'll be 30 stitches in total, including the first chain. Now work a slip stitch into the first chain to complete this round. We won't be working any increases on this round. This will help to ensure that the circle lays nice and flat without any curly edges. So we'll work one chain, which counts as the first stitch, and then one double crochet into every stitch to the end of the round. There are still 30 stitches in total. Work a slip stitch into the first chain to complete this round. Work one chain and one double crochet into the chain where you joined the previous round. Work one double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and work a double crochet increase into the next stitch. Work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and continue to work a double crochet increase into every 3rd stitch to the end of the round. This makes 40 stitches in total, including the first chain. Now work a slip stitch into the first chain to complete this round. Work 1 chain and 1 double crochet into the chain where you joined the previous round. Work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And work a double crochet increase into the next stitch. Work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches and continue to work a double crochet increase into every 4th stitch to the end of the round, making 50 stitches in total. So this is the formula for creating a circle. You'll begin by increasing on every stitch. The next increase will be on every 2nd stitch. The next increase will be every 3rd stitch, and then every 4th stitch, and so on. And occasionally there'll be a round with no increases. The pattern you're following will indicate when to do this, and if you're just experimenting, this is really trial and error until you get it right.